Okay, let's begin our today's class. Okay. Okay, so we are going to look into topic 5, which is a continuous version of a previous topic. Okay, so we call it as valuation of future cash flows. But in this topic, only two things you need to focus on. So let's have a look into the contents. Okay, two things here. The first objective that you need to know is the one that we covered in the previous session, the difference between annuities and perpetuities. Remember, I covered these contents in the previous session. Okay, so you need to switch on that one, is it? Wait, you want to switch on? Okay, let's continue. Okay, last week we covered about the contents on annuities and perpetuities. I'll go through that with you again in case you have forgotten. But the focus of today's class is these two new things, okay, which is on annual percentage rate, APR, which is on annual percentage rate, okay, and effective annual rate. So these are two main things of today's class. Okay, so that means the first thing that we are going to see is a recap on annuity and perpetuity, and then followed by these two new concepts on APR and EAR. So therefore, since we are learning new concepts today, that means later when we press calculator, we are using some new function as well. So there are a lot more complicated functions as compared to previous class. Okay, so later we are going to use financial calculator to derive the answers as well. But the focus of tutorial 5, remember, is on APR and EAR. Okay, let's have a look into what we have covered in the previous session on annuities and perpetuities then. So when we talk about perpetuity, as I mentioned before, it is for infinite. Okay, so the keywords of perpetuity is that are infinite series of equal payment That means that there is an equal payment. There's the same payment being distributed to you for the infinite amount of time. So like for example, PMT here is your monthly cash flow or yearly cash flow in which is the same, okay, forever. So cash flow is the same forever, okay, and the maturity period is undefined. That means it's for infinite, okay. Usually it's like preferred stock. When you hold preferred stock, you will be eligible for this kind of dividends, okay. So therefore, you can see here, right? Therefore, to calculate the present value for perpetuity, you just use this formula, okay. Cash flow divided by the interest rate, okay. It's for forever, so it's for infinite, for infinity. Now, on the other hand, we have annuity. When we talk about annuity here, we are saying that there is finite series of equal payments. Again, you must remember that the payment must be equal, must be the same. The cash flow must be the same. Okay, finite series of equal payment in which it happens during regular intervals until a specific amount of time. Okay, so again, keywords, cash flow must be the same. It's just that the difference now is the maturity period is defined, not forever. So again, here you can see it's up to 48 years, for example. So one thing you need to recognize is the cash flow is the same. So the difference between perpetuity and annuity is that one is for infinity, one is for finite. Okay, finite series of equal payment. But the similarity between these two is the amount, the cash flow they receive should be equal. Okay. So the formula for annuity is these two, but we will use the financial calculator to derive, okay, the PV value or FV value. So we don't really use the formula methods over here. So that's the first thing you need to know for tutorial 5. And then now we come to the important parts on APR and EAR. So let's have a look into APR first. APR means annual percentage rate. So when I say annual percentage rate, in layman term, I can call it as nominal rate or the rate that's quoted in the market quoted rate. Okay, or we can just call it as nominal rate. So when you borrow loans from the banks, usually the rate of the loans that's being quoted on your contract itself is this nominal rate, which is called APR. Okay, so basically APR works like this. So for example, there's a simple formula here. APR equals to period rate times the numbers of period per year. So for example, if today I want to calculate my APR, if let's say your period rate, that means every month you are being charged 1% of the interest rate, okay, times, because 1% per month. So how many periods per year? 1 year you have 12 months, so times 12. Okay, 12 months. So in a year, it will be 12%, correct? Okay, 12% per annum compounded monthly. Okay, 12% per annum compounded monthly. But this is not a very good measurement. Okay, this is not a very good formula. Why? Although here I say 12% per annum compounded monthly, right? But is there any compounding effect being taken into account over here? No, because remember last time when we learned about future value, okay? So you see, remember how the future value formula looks like? FV equals to PV 1 plus RT, right? Remember? Why is that we have this power T here? Because of the compounding effect, okay? Because of the compounding effect. So therefore, we take into of the compounding effect. But here, if we refer to this APR, you see the formula over here, period rate times the number of periods per year. Is there any power over here? No. So it seems like they do not take into account of the compounding effect here. Okay, so therefore this is not very accurate. Okay, the reason why it is still shown on the market, the reason why this is the rate that the bank show is because if today bank were to show you effective annual rate, no one can understand that, because what we are going later on is the more accurate measure of the rate itself, more accurate measure of the interest rate. Okay, but the thing is this, if let's say EAR is even, not everyone knows how to calculate it. Not everyone knows the meaning behind EAR. So therefore, for simplicities, okay, what is being provided by the market or bank is actually APR. APR works like this, 12% per annum. But this is very inaccurate. Why? Because for example, um, today, right, let's say you talk about credit cards. So credit cards interest rate can be on daily or monthly, right? So for example, in January, okay, you owe a certain amount, let's say 1,000, okay, and then right after that when you want to go February, this amount itself is carried forward. So therefore, the interest rate is based on this amount. Okay, moving on to the next one, let's say is 1,100. Okay, and then the another 1% should be based on this amount. Okay, going for March. So that means that this is what we talk about the compounding effect. So we can't just use one simple number and then times this 12% per annum. That is not so accurate because compounding effect means, first of all, it will take into account of the balance that we left from the previous month or from the previous day. Like for example, January, I still owing 1,000. Okay, so therefore to calculate the February amount of the loan, so I have to use this 1,000 that I owe, that I'm still owing, times the 1%. Okay, and equals, let's say for example 1,100. Okay, and then after that I have to use this amount to times the interest rate again to calculate how much amount that I'm actually what is the amount that I'm actually owing. So therefore, if I use APR, right, it's actually not so accurate because APR is like one size fits all thing. Okay, so therefore APR is not accurate. Okay, so like for example, usually in credit card, let's say credit card charge 1% interest per month. Okay, so multiply by 12, give a nominal APR of 12% per year. So if I just use straight away 1,000 times 12% to calculate the amount, this is not accurate because it doesn't really take into account of the compounding effect. Okay, so therefore now we have EAR. So what is EAR then? So we talk about EAR. Okay, we talk about the rate that is being paid or received after accounting for the compounding effect that occurs during the year. So the keyword here we take into account of compounding effect. Okay, like for example, each month, so this is a very good example here. Each month, the interest gets tagged onto your balance. So your balance need to take into account, and you will pay the interest on any unpaid interest charge during the following month. So therefore, you see, this is the one that I'm talking about, the compounding effect. Okay, most credit cards compound interest daily. Okay, so therefore we can't just use APR. So what we should use actually EAR itself. Okay, and EAR is useful is also because sometimes, right, when you compare between two different investments, one investments the interest rate is compounded monthly, and the one is compounded weekly, for example. Both, in order for you to do comparison, because their compounding periods are different, it will be better to convert everything into EAR. So therefore, things will be clearer. Okay, so therefore, again, the good thing about EAR is not only that it takes into account the compounding effect, but it is also helpful in terms of comparing different investment packages that offer different compounding periods. Okay, now how the EAR formula looks like. Okay, so first of all, just now we learned APR is just now we learned about APR equals to period rate times the number of periods per year, in which I can call it as M. Okay. Okay, now I want to calculate EAR. Okay, how do I calculate EAR? EAR in your financial calculator is called effective annual interest, or we call it as EFF. Okay, so the formula, okay, although I have already put it over here, I will still show you what does it mean. Okay, so here EAR, basically the formula is 1 plus period rate power of m minus 1. Okay, so first of all, you can see that there is power being involved over here, m here. So this is what I call as the compounding effect is being taken into account. Oh, got someone. Uh-oh. No, you have to take the chairs. Finding chairs. Okay. Space or not? No. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so now that's the formula. Now, how do I get period rate? So you see period rate, where do I get it from? Here, right? So I can just move around. So I can say 1 plus APR divided by M, power of M minus 1. Why do I minus 1? Minus 1 is the base. Okay, I need to minus base. Okay, so therefore, that is the formula of ER. Okay, 1 plus APR divided by M power of M. Okay, so therefore, you can see that this is basically my period rate. Okay, now how do I calculate APR from this formula? Okay, so therefore, now if I were to calculate APR, so I rewrite again. So EAR equals to 1 plus APR divided by M power of M minus 1. So I move this minus 1 to the left first. So become 1. 1 plus EAR equals to 1 plus APR divided by M power of M, right? So I move the power first to the left. But we will be using calculator for all this. So we will be using financial calculator for all this. So you don't have to worry too much about the formula. Okay, so I move the power to the left. And then what's next? So I will move the 1 to the right hand side, to the left hand side. So 1 plus EAR power of 1 over M minus 1 equals to APR divided by M. Okay, and therefore at the end I will find M bracket 1 plus EAR power of 1 over M minus 1 bracket equals to my APR. Ta-da! Okay, so you can see it's the same formula. APR equals to M, okay, bracket 1 plus EAR power of 1 over M minus 1. Okay, so two formulas here. One is on EAR and one is on APR. So this is how the formula is being derived. Okay, can. Okay, all good. Let's have a look into extra questions now. Okay, so that's the things you need to know for your tutorial 5 is short. Okay, so before you look into tutorial questions, let's have a look into the extra question first. Okay, let's have a look into the extra question, which is also in your tutorial question as well. Okay, question number 1. You want to borrow this amount. Okay, 1 million. Okay, you want to borrow 1 million to buy a house. The bank quoted you 12% per annum compounding monthly. Okay, can you tell me what rate is this? Bank quoted you. So nominal rate. Nominal rate is also called as APR. Okay, over 20 years. What are the monthly repayments? So monthly repayment means what? PMT. Okay, over 20 years is the end. This is the present value. Okay, so now, first of all, I'm calculating monthly payments. So we talk about monthly payments, so we have to calculate the monthly rate first. Because this one, the rate here is APR. So what is the formula for APR? APR equals to the period rate per month. Period rate means per month times the number of periods. Right? So therefore, I move around, I have to use APR divided by M in order to get my period rate. Okay, so what should I do? Okay, so first of all, my PV is 1 million. Okay, my interest rate. Okay, I have to use this formula. Okay, 12% divided by 1 year. How many months? 12 months, right? So therefore, period rate equals to 12% divided by 12 months. So equals to 1%. 1% every month. Okay, 1% every month. And then what about my number of periods? Now, 20 years. But here, this is a monthly, this one is compounded monthly. Okay, we look into monthly basis. So 20 years. In 20 years, how many months do we have? 20 times 12 equals to 240. And then compute. Okay, and then compute your PMT. Key into your calculator and see what answers do you get. Compute PMT. You should get the same answers over here, in which it is 11010.86. Okay, if you already forgotten how, please let me know. If you have forgotten how to key into the calculator. Remember, present value, you must put negative. Yes. Below the PV. Below the PV is IY interest rate. Okay, this should be easy. Yes, 12% divided by 12. Okay, Boleh, let's move on to question number 2. Okay, move on. Okay, next question number 2. I still haven't done. Okay, okay. 有这样 complicated 哦，啊？哎呦，okay, okay. I show you, I show you. But today this is not our focus, Today we is FF. Okay, download the online one. So, 打那个 negative is answer bracket. 我想写它这边and then AY So, PV 没有放 negative 你会收到 error. Yeah. Anyone cannot get anything? Anyone? Okay, hold on. I pause the recording first. Okay, let's have a look into question number 2. Okay, what is the present value? Present value of 3,000 in 1 year, 6,000 in 2 years, 9,000 in 3 years. If interest rate is 10% per annum compounded yearly. Okay, so how do we do this? Now, this one you have to use new functions already. Okay, first draw the timeline first. Okay, I can draw the timeline. Year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3. So in year 1 is 3,000. In year 2 is 6,000. In year 3 is 9,000. So what I'm calculating, I want to calculate present value. That means what should I do? Remember last week, the last question, we calculate future value. Okay, but this one is present value. The balik, I want to discount it back. So 3,000 discount back to the present value, one time here. 6,000 discounted one time here, and then one time here, 2 times. Okay, and the last one, 9,000, will be discount back to the present value, one time here, one time here, and then another one time here. Okay, so I'm discounting every back to present value. I'm calculating the net present value itself. Okay, so I can use the normal present value formula. You can see all these are present value formulas. Or I can straight away use the cash flow function in the financial calculator to calculate my net present value, which is faster because you are going to use this method all the time. So you have 2 methods. The first one is method 1. The bottom one is method 2. But I recommend you to try method 2 because you will use this very often. Method 1 is you calculate present value for each. You calculate the 3,000 first, and then 6,000, and then 9,000 one by one, and then add up together, which is very slow. But I can teach you another method, which is on the cash flow function. Okay, so using your okay, use your calculator first. Okay, now new things ready. You press cash flow first. You press cash flow. Okay, first you need to second clear TVM. Second clear TVM, and then you press cash flow. Okay, so first of all, they will ask you once you press cash flow, the calculator will ask you CF0 is how much. CF0 is 0 lah, okay. Then you press going down. Okay, you press go down. Okay, you press go down. Okay, they will ask you F01. F01 means the frequency. Okay, also ignore it, equals to 0. Okay. Yeah, going down. Correct, correct. Okay. Sorry. Again, sorry. I missed out something. Hold on. Okay. When you press CF0 already, it won't go to F0 first. CF0, CF, then CF0 is 0. Okay. And then you press go down. Okay. C01. C01, you key in 3000. Okay. You key in 3000. Press enter. Okay. It can follow or not? Oh. Okay, I write the step first. Press enter. Okay, and then go down. Then they'll ask you F01. F01 means frequency. How many times you receive this 3000? One time lah. So put 1. It's already automatically put for you, so you don't have to press anything. You just press down. Go down. Okay, C02. How much? 6000. It's already key in, right? So you don't have to key in. Okay, 6000. Enter. Go down. Okay, and then F02 equals to 1 also. Go down. C03 is 9000. Enter. Go down. F03 equals to 1. Then I straight away press NPV. Okay, I straight away continue here. I press NPV, and then it will ask me how much is my interest rate. IY equals to 10. 10. Okay, IY is equals to 10. Enter. And then go down. How compute NPV? You just press compute. You will get the answers already. Yep. Okay, question 3. Okay, first of all, you need a loan. Bank A charge you 12% per annum compounded daily. Bank B rate is 1% per month. Okay, so which bank should you choose? So you see both actually compound differently, right? Okay, so first of all, for this one, can someone tell me what rate is this? 12% per annum compounded daily. Nominal rate. So what is nominal rate? APR, very good. Okay, what about this? What rate is this? 1% per month. Please, or like that. This is called period rate. So how do I convert to APR? 1% per month. So how many months per year? 12 months. So equals to 12% per annum compounded monthly. Okay, so we have APR for both already. So we have to calculate EAR. Why? Because I say already, if you are comparing between two investment package or two loans, okay, you have to look into EAR because both of these package will have different compounding periods, compounding rates. Okay. Okay, so for Bank A, we do the EAR for Bank A first. So this one is the formula method. Okay, in which you just substitute into the formula that we learned just now. Remember the formula? EAR equals to 1 plus 1 plus APR divided by M, power of M minus 1. So you just substitute that in. Okay, so if you use the formula, so you will use your 0.12 on here and then divided by 365 because 1 year got 365 days. But I want to use the calculator methods. Okay, so how do you use calculator methods? So first you must press second, reset, enter. Second, reset, enter. And then after that, you have to press second icon. So second icon. So where did you get your second? Where is icon here? Okay. Icon is number 2, the digit number 2 in your calculator. Okay. When you press second icon, what do you get? The calculator will ask you what is your nominal rate. NOM is your nominal rate. Easy already. Oh. This one you don't have to do any calculation at all. How much is the nominal rate? Nominal rate means APR. So you see, when you key in second icon, the calculator already asking you, what is the APR? Easy though. You just key in 12. You key in 12, okay, enter, and then go down. Okay, you press enter, then go down. But it asks you EFF, but I cannot straight ask the calculator to calculate EFF yet because I haven't keyed in my compounding rate. So I must go down another again, which is CY. What is CY for? CY means compounding how many times in a year? Compounding how many times? 365. Okay, so 365, enter. And then go up again to calculate EFF. So you go up, you just press compute. Compute EFF. It will give you the answers ready, which is 12.75%. So remember, when you use second icon functions, okay, when you use second icon functions, you only have 3 information that the calculator will ask only. The calculator will only ask you nominal rate, CY, and lastly, the one that you want to compute. 3 information only in what we call as the second icon functions. So same thing here for bank B. I already have my APR. So this is formula method. This is financial calculator method. So same thing. Second, reset, enter. Second, icon. Nominal rate is 12. Okay. Compounded how many times? Monthly. Monthly means 12 times. So compute EFF. You get your answers. So since this is a loan, since this is a loan, so do you go for the highest one or lowest one? You go for lowest one. Very good. So you go for bank B. Yeah, bank B is the lowest one. What you need to write in exam is just like this. You know, this is the calculator methods. You just need to write like this. Okay, next question. Okay, how much can you borrow for a business startup if your bank loan repayments are 5 equal installments of 20,000 per year? Interest quoted by the bank, for instance, is 1% per month. Again, 1% per month is what rate? So this 1% is not APR yet. Okay, so we convert to APR. Okay, so again, this 1% per month is your period rate. Hey, follow because this one got this question got a lot of steps. Period rate. Okay, so if I want to calculate APR, I use 1% times 12. So equals to 12% per annum compounded monthly. Okay. Now, 5 equal installment of 20% per year. Annuity or perpetuity? Annuity. Wow, you okay or no? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what are we calculating? We are calculating the present value. Okay, and also the interest rate. Okay, so few steps here. First, we want to convert monthly rate to yearly rate. So just now 1% per month is a monthly rate, period rate. So we convert into APR. APR is the annual rate. So that's why we call it as annual percentage rate. So we have done the first step already. So now we can calculate the ER. Because we have APR already. We can find the ER. Once we have ER, we can calculate the present value already. So 3 steps. Okay, so how do we do? First one, I have already done this one, the first step. Okay. Second step, I want to calculate ER. So second step, second icon. Okay. Nominal rate is 12. Okay. Compounded how many times per year? Monthly monthly is also 12. Okay, then compute EFF is 12.68%. This is my interest rate already. So 搞定 is step 2. So I know my IY is 12.68% already. So what's next? I have to calculate PV. How do you calculate PV? First, second, clear PVM. Okay, and then PMT is how much? 20,000. Okay, IY is how much? 12.68. How many number of periods? 5. So compute PV. You get the answers. So 3 steps in total. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. So from the initial APR to EFF and then to PV. No need, when you write, no need. But it will show you in calculator in negative. Yeah, no need to write. Okay, that's all. So let's move on to tutorial questions. Okay, question 1. It should be fast already. We already spent too much time on calculator already. Your company will generate 45,000 in cash flow each year for the next 9 years from a new information database. The computer system needed to set up the database cost this amount. If you can borrow the money to buy the computer system at this percent annual interest, can you afford the new system? Okay, so annuity or perpetuity. So you can see 45,000 in cash flow each year for 9 years. For 9 years, 45,000. Okay, and then the interest rate is 8.25%. Okay, so now we have to calculate the PV first. So we can just use the annuity formula. So we just key into the calculator. Second, here, TVM. Okay, so similarly, first one, PMT is how much? 45,000. IY is 8.25. N is 9. And then compute your PV. You will get 278,210.88. Okay, so you see just now we mentioned that the computer system needed the setup cost of this amount. Okay, but the present value is this amount. So what can we say here? The present value of the revenue is greater than the cost. So it's good to proceed. The present value of this investment is larger than the cost. This one, 260,000 is the cost. This one is the present value of the investment. Okay, so since my PV is larger than my cost, the present value of the revenue is greater than the cost, then we should proceed. We can afford. Okay? Make sure you know how to calculate. I thought your lecturer is teaching you all how to press calculator in the class. Did she? Alright. Okay. 够力了啊，那些不会按的就够力了。Okay, next question. 放了。Yeah, I put everything on the folder already. Calculating perpetuity value. Dawa Financial is trying to sell you an investment policy that will pay you and your peers 35,000 per year forever. If the required return on this investment is 7%, how much will you pay for the policy? So the present value. So 35,000 for forever. What formula you use? Annuity or perpetuity? Oh, perpetuity, yeah? Okay, perpetuity. So this one you don't have to key into calculator. You just use the formula PV equals to C divided by R. So cash flow is the C, 35,000 divided by R. R is 7%, 0.07. You get the answers. If you really want to press this into calculator, you have to key in the n into 9999999 digit of 9. 不用吧，好像是直接 key 到满了，按完它就问它了。对，所以去做啊？Because for forever 嘛。Okay, next question. Yeah. Okay. First National Bank charged 10.1% compounded monthly on its business loans. First United Bank charged 10.3% compounded semi-annually. As a potential borrower, which bank would you go for a new loan? So first of all, can someone tell me what rate is this? Aduh, APR. What rate is this? Wow, 教完。什么？Wait 没有，都不用学的啦。Final 啦。啊不然学爽啊，我们今天。Actually 哦，let's finish first. Let's finish first. Yeah, yeah, just like very less marks only. APR 要这样 finance very easy to score A1 though. Okay, both are APR. So what should we do here? Very easy ma. From APR I convert to EAR only. So I just use the formula. Okay, so first of all, okay, I calculate the First National Bank first. Okay, I write here First National Bank. Okay, second icon. But make sure you press second reset enter first. This one, second reset enter first. Okay, and then second icon. Okay, nominal rate. What is my nominal rate? 10.1%. Compounded monthly. 10.1%. Compounded monthly. So 12. Then compute EFF. As simple as that only ma. If come out midterm, so easy to score. Okay, so what do you get? 10.58%. Okay. So there's answers for the First National Bank. So I can do a hypothetical scenario. Okay, I want to see if today I borrow 100, how much is it based on this interest rate? Okay, so I can do a hypothetical scenario. Hypothetical scenario. Okay, so like this one. Okay, you can see if today I borrow 100, how much is it based on this amount? So I can key in PV negative 100. Okay, IY equals to 10.58%. And number of periods, because it becomes 1 year already, because we are using we already convert to EFF, so the N equals to 1. Okay, and then compute FV, that means at the end, the amount that I have to pay is 110.58. Now, these hypothetical things you don't have to do if they do not ask you. So like this question, they did not ask you. I'm just showing you this hypothetical situation is because it is being shown over here. Okay. There's also another method. This one also can use one. But it's okay. This one, all those are not so important. This one, the difference here, the difference is only these two. This one, they use 10.1 divided by 12. Okay. If you use this method, then you have to compound for 12 periods. But if not, if I use EAR, I just compounded for 1 period. So that's the difference here. But both will give you the same answers.什么？谁免的？对啊，对对对。对啊，洗白是。没有啦，2次2罢了。哦，yeah. Okay, let's continue with another one. First United Bank. Okay, First United Bank. Okay, second icon. Nominal rate is how much? 10.3% compounded semi-annually. 10.3, okay. So semi-annual. So what's my CY? Very good. Okay. Smart. Compute EFF. So compute EFF. Let's see what answers do you get. You will get 10.57%. So you compare between these two. Just now the first bank is 10.58. This one is 10.57. So which one you should go to? You should go to the second one, First United Bank. I can show a hypothetical scenario as well. Okay, so hypothetical scenario. Okay, like for example, now I borrow 100, okay, and my IY now is 10.57%. My N is 1. Compute FV equals to 110.57. That means if I borrow 100 right now, I have to pay back at 110.57. Okay, which is lower than this one, 110.58. Okay, so this is a hypothetical scenario. Yeah. Red color one，红色知道。考试要写东西是红色知道。哦，要写啊？考试要写，不然你就写红色知道，你的算法就是红色知道，没有任何 calculation。考试的时候就考试的时候就写红色知道。要不然你考试写什么？直接写 compute EMF 啊？哦，不要玩。要，考试要写对。奇怪这个字。这样你就用这些咯，你用那个formula 咯。可以，你算对就可以了。快写中 DY，就写在那边弄写在那个纸那边。Second icon norm second icon， 还没有你对，你的 step 这是你的 step Okay, next question. 什么？对，Okay, APR 啊。OK，给你抄点。什么？Okay, let's continue. APR. Okay, Magnus Credit Corporation wants to earn an effective annual return on its consumer loan of 16% per year. The bank used weekly compounding on its loan. What interest rate is the bank required by law to report to potential borrowers? So what interest rate is that? What interest rate the bank must report? And explain why this rate is misleading to an uninformed borrower. 对哦，他给的是什么 rate？ 错 APR, yeah, okay. So the interest rate that's being provided by bank is nominal rate, which is my APR. So it is misleading. 因为我们还的那个 rate, the amount surely will be higher than this APR rate, the amount that we're paying back. Okay, so therefore it can be a bit misleading. Okay, so now I have the EAR. Okay, so I have EF, you see, effective annual return. is 16%. So this is my EFF. Okay, what I want to calculate here is APR. So a bit different already. So first of all, second, reset, enter. Second, icon. Okay. So first, I go for EFF first. I look for EFF. I key in 16. Okay, and then compounded how many times? Weekly. Weekly compounding how many times? Okay, 一年几啊？52，一年52个星期。Okay, 1 year got 52 weeks. Okay, so 52. Compute nominal rate. Okay, 14.86%. So 14.86%, how do I write it? I can write as 14.86% per annum compounded weekly. So this is my APR. Okay. Nominal rate is your APR. So whatever I write in red color is the one you need to write in your exam. As simple as that. 写一次啊。
所以那时候款项我们是因为他是一定要写 APR 的啦，
因为他写 EL 没有人看得懂所以他是写 APL 的。他也不能写 EL 了，我觉得，因为它是 base 我们剩下的 amount 嘛，他又不懂你上一次剩多少 amount，所以 for simplicity 肯定是写 APL。
所以要计算啊，
不是每个人都 intro to finance 吧？不是每个人会算 EL，是我们自己会算 EL 吧？
如果我要计算，我要计算啊。
可是没有人会去算啦。你要算什么？来到最后差，其实你到最后你算到 amount 它只是差一点点吧，不会差很远的。
可是到最后我们就是已经
给多了，我们一定会给多了。所以至少你现在懂哦，你去银行借钱，你会去算 EL。我是没有这样做啦。那反正先 calculate 来，Let me calculate EL first. I don't want to use normal calculator. I want financial calculator. Okay. 够力了。Enter。Enter。OK。这个还没有打。14.86。对哦，14.86。随便的，按上下吧，按上下，这边的没有，OK，都做一个看，知道。来，再讲名字。Enter，每个都 Enter 呀。随便按下上去。
你这样子的话，你会有
Okay, let's move on, move on. Okay, another question. You want to buy a new sports coupe for 73,800 and the finance office at the dealership has quoted you an 6.1% APR loan for 60 months to buy the car. What will your monthly payments be? And what is the ER? So, Two questions here. Monthly payments. What are we finding? Monthly payment, the one will come out midterms. Monthly payments. What is monthly payments? Wow. What info are we looking for? Monthly payments. So two things. We know that one is to calculate EAR or work as EFF. What about the monthly payments? 很熟悉, right? So familiar. We just did it so many times already. What is monthly payment? What info that we are finding for monthly payments in calculator? So I is interest rate. PMT, very good. So easy already. Now we just write. Okay. Second, clear TBM. Okay. Now I know like PV already. So this is the PV. 我有点担心 midterm 33,800. Okay. And then 6.1% APR loan for 60 months. Okay. Now, first we know that 60 months is the N. Okay. N is 60 months. But there's one problem. What about my IY here? Can someone tell me what is IY? Can we straight away take this 6.1 APR? 为什么要除12? Why we need to divide by 12? Yes, because it's compounded monthly basis. So this is how midterms might trick you. So because APR, what is the APR? APR means annual percentage rate. 它是整年的, is annual. So now I want to calculate to monthly. So what is the formula again? Remember, APR equals to period rate times the number of periods. Okay, so therefore 6.1% is annual one. So I have to calculate the period rate. So I have to use 6.1 divided by 12. Okay, so 6.1 divided by 12. What do you get? 0.51. Okay, and then compute PMT. Try and see. So yep, I get the answers ready. 1432.20. Okay, then shall we do EFF? Okay, step 1 done ready. Second question, compute EFF. So second, reset, enter. Second, icon. Okay, then nominal rate. So nominal rate, what should I key in? Very good. Not 0.51 already. Why I use back NOM means nominal rate, so I use back APR. Okay, I use back APR. So APR is 6.1. Not bad, you all managed to identify correctly. Because some students will go and write nominal rate is 0.51. Wrong already. Because this is the period one. I want the nominal. So different. So it's 6.1. Okay. 你是有听到？你在听还是听还是？哎呀，那也是算不到。PB 60 and 0.51 IY compute PMT 我知道 2 decimal point 我用6个 decimal point
所以没有差。
没有差没有差一样才对 Okay, then computed how many times? 12 times, compute EFF. So you'll get 6.27%. Okay, I have to move on already. I still have questions though. Okay. Mobuto Money Limited is selling a perpetual annuity contract that pays 3,100 monthly. The contract currently sells for this amount. What is the monthly return on this investment vehicle? What is the APR and what is the ER? So how many questions here? 3 questions. Monthly return, APR, and EAR. Okay. So here, this is a perpetuity. Remember, for forever. Okay. So step 1, what can I do? So I want to calculate monthly return. Okay. So you see, if I use back the formula, PV equals to cash flow divided by R, right? Okay. But this time, I provide you the PV. The PV is how much? This is the PV. So PV is 325,000 equals to cash flow. I don't know. Cash flow is the monthly return, the PMT. R is how much? Sorry. Cash flow I already got. Sorry. So cash flow I already got. Okay, cash flow is this one, 3,001 monthly. Okay, this is a cash flow. Okay, so 3,001 I already got divided by R. R is the one that I do not have. So this is what we call as monthly return. Okay, monthly return. So I move around, calculate using calculator. 23234 divided by. Okay, so if you key into your calculator, you will get 3,001 divided by 325,000. Okay, 0.0095. Okay, or I can rewrite into 0.9, or I can rewrite into 0.95%. Yep. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, now I want to calculate APR. How do I calculate APR? So you see, once I get these numbers ready, I can do my APR ready. How? 0.95% is the period rate times 12 months. 11.4% per annum compounded monthly. Okay, then I can calculate my EAR. Second icon, nominal rate is 11.4 compounded 12 times, and then compute EFF. Okay, you will get 12.07%. So 3 things here. Okay, one last question, then we are done. Last question, right? Okay. One last question here, discount cash flow. Okay, if the appropriate discount rate for the following cash flow is 9.29% per year, what is the present value? So you are being given this cash flow, I want to discount it back. So this one discount back, this one discount back, this one discount back, and this one discount back. Okay, use the financial calculator methods. Use cash flow methods. Okay, so CF0 equals to 0. C01 equals to 1008. Okay, frequency is 1. C02 2003. Frequency also 1. C03, 4005. F03 also equals to 1. C04, 5001. F04 also equals to 1. Okay, then now I want to calculate NPV. I press NPV. They will ask me for I. I is how much? 9.29%. So compute NPV. You get the answers. So you get 10,594.61. Okay, that's the final answers. Easy, right? Not too difficult. You can use calculator to derive everything. Yeah, so that's the contents that I want to cover for today's session. Let me stop recording.